fellow leaders on the iServe team at Azalea City Church of God. I'm happy that you would join me tonight as I'm going to speak on nonverbal communication and the role that it plays in educating our students. So by a show of hands, have you ever felt misunderstood? Certainly, we all have. Effective communication is the key to successful understanding. As student leaders, it is our responsibility to ensure that no student feels misunderstood. Likewise, we must ensure that they understand what's being poured into their lives. Research has proven that effective communication, more precisely, nonverbal communication, plays a critical role in student success throughout the world. In my speech today, I want to show you that our nonverbal actions towards those God has placed in our care today matter for all eternity. To do so, I'll make 3 points. First of all, I will define nonverbal communication. Second, I'll briefly give you 5 categories of nonverbal communication. And third, I will explain to you the teacher's role that nonverbal communication plays in the classroom. Okay, so let's begin by making certain that we understand nonverbal communication and how it is defined. If you were to get your dictionary, you would not find nonverbal communication listed in the dictionary. Therefore, it must be defined in the terms that it is studied, which is called kinesics. Kinesics is a systematic study of the relationship between non-linguistic body motions, such as blushes, shrugs, eye movements, those sorts of things, and communication, according to Merriam-Webster. According to Marjorie Fink Vargas, professor at the Wisconsin School of University of Education, in conversations, only 35% of social messages are conveyed by words. The remaining 65% is communicated non-verbally by how we speak, move, gesture, and handle spatial relationships. So now that we understand what constitutes nonverbal communication, let's talk about some important categories of nonverbal communication that will help you as you relate to the children in your care. There have been many studies and findings in regards to nonverbal communication. Psychologists Paul Ekman and friend Wallace Friesen made lasting contributions to the study of nonverbal communication. According to the Encyclopedia of Management, Ekman and Friesen developed 5 categories of nonverbal communication. Understanding these categories will benefit you as a student leader by evaluating your own uses of nonverbal communication as well as those of your students. Okay, the first category is called an emblem. These are specific movements that are so common that words identify them, such as a thumbs up. But did you know that emblems are different across cultures? For instance, in the United States, we know a thumbs up means great job, super. However, it is considered vulgar in other countries. So that's important to remember when you're relating to your students. The second category is called an illustrator. These accompany words in manners and are used to add meaning. Example, waving your hands to show an idea. The third category is called an affect display. These are actions paired with emotions. An example is you're slumped in your seat, meaning you're uninterested in this conversation. The fourth category is called a regulator. These are looks of confusion. When you see these, you know that you need to further explain something to your student. And the final category is called an adapter. This is an unconscious movement for comfort or clarity, such as a person biting their nails when they are nervous. Now that we understand these 5 categories, let's look at how we can couple our understanding of nonverbal communication with Ekman and Friesen's categories to provide the best possible environment for our students to learn and flourish. Linwood University's Journal of Education, Leadership and Action features an article by Dustin York titled Professional Development, the Use of Nonverbal Communication During Class Lecture. York argues that the vital role a teacher plays in nonverbal communication within the classroom and its importance. York uses the studies and findings of Dr. Albert Mahibrian and Jay Anderson and further associates those findings to a teacher's presentation styles. Dr. Mahibrian and Jay Anderson coined the term immediacy. Immediacy describes the physical and psychological closeness a student feels with a teacher, such as when the student makes eye contact, smiling, head nods, or gestures. York studies showed that students held more positive perception of their teacher and class when immediacy was present. When students feel comfortable in the learning environment, their perception of their own learning is greater. As we close, I would like to once again ensure you of your importance as a teacher and your nonverbal communication. It's important that your students feel understood, because feeling misunderstood can lead to insecurities that have the potential to negatively alter their success. There is a clear correlation between a teacher's nonverbal communication style and the success of their students in most cases. I hope that as we close today that you have a better understanding of nonverbal communication and how it plays a significant role in the lives of the children that we teach. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening.